Hi, my name is Keith Brooks. I'm an actor. You might know me from The Walking Dead or Constantine, or one time I played a man-pig genetic hybrid. And I'm lucky enough because in my acting career, it's afforded me the opportunity to go to conventions and meet with fans and have entertaining and new experiences. And that's what this show's about, telling you about some of those moments, as it were. So the first, I had been to conventions before, as a spectator, and a couple as, an actor for a web series and for a director, and then for a project shooting a film. But my first convention public appearance after The Walking Dead, which is probably the thing I'm most well known for, was at something called the March of Dimes Walk for Babies in Canton, Georgia, which is a small town, but it's also my hometown. A friend of mine named David, who's the nicest dude in the world, had pulled me into this thing to try to get some more publicity out there and all sorts of stuff like that. And it was a charitable event, so I thought, well, that seems like a cool idea. But I had no idea. I mean, I do this not quite often, but I do it more now, and I still have no fucking idea how the fuck to run myself at a convention by any means. If it wasn't for my friend Trevor, I'd be completely fucking lost, and Trevor will be on later to tell you stories about weird shit we gotten into. But this time I was flying solo, right? For the first experience, I was by myself, and I knew that I had to go buy prints and get those printed off so I could sell them, right? So the idea was, he told me, come out, you'll have a table, you'll get to sell as many pictures of yourself as you want, and you make a little money, but also giving back to a charity. So I was like, yeah, fuck, that sounds like a fucking great thing. So I printed off all these pictures that AMC had given me of me trying to molest a child, because at the end of the day, that's what I'm famous for. And they have a bouncy castle and funnel cakes and corn dogs and insurance representatives and a smoothie place and a church and then a table that I'm supposed to be sitting at, right? So I'm like, okay, well, this is nice. It's outside. I'm pale. I'm going to get sunburnt, but I don't care. It's a beautiful day outside. Again, wonderful charitable activities happening. I'm totally on board with this. They introduced me to this lady that's going to be helping me. Nice lady, she's got a broken leg, but that's fine. Super interesting conversationalist, right? So at first we're talking about how beautiful a day it is, then she starts talking to me about panthers and how they're local to the South area and how they could be really scary, and that one time somebody had saw a panther in Canton, and in my mind I'm thinking, I'm from Canton, I've never seen a panther in Canton. That'd be terrible. At the subway? Is that where you, maybe at Walmart? Where did you see a panther in Canton? There's not a lot of panther areas. And then another girl comes up that's supposed to be helping me, that's been assigned to sort of help me, and I'd gone to high school with her because, again, this was my hometown and we hadn't seen each other in a while, but we were Facebook friends. So she starts asking me about this girl that I've been hanging out with a lot named Tori, right? Now, Tori is currently my girlfriend right now. But at the time of this story, we were not dating. We were just hanging out a lot. And the reason Tori and I had been hanging out a lot was because Beamed It Productions, which is the name of the company that me and Trevor own, we were shooting a pilot for a television series, right? And in that pilot, I had played a porn star, and Tori was my co-star in a fake porn that we had shot. So I start to tell this girl, Leslie's her name, about, yeah, me and Tori have been hanging out. She did some acting for me. We were in this porn, and before I could say the word poor, the lady with the broken leg says, Tori, what's her last name? And I tell her last name, and then the lady says, oh, that's my niece. So I almost just said that I was in a porn with this lady's niece, who's sitting at the table and knows where all of the panthers in this area are. So it's me, broken leg panther lady, whose niece I was in a porn with, and a friend of mine from high school is the sweetest girl in the world. Then they sit somebody else with us at the table, right? And the other person they sit is a person running for state Congress, and she's the most goddamn beautiful politician I have ever seen in my life. She had glasses, and her hair was like a librarian's bun, and at any moment you thought she was gonna take it down. And I'm sorry if that seems sexist, but this lady was super hot and super attractive. So the entire time I'm thinking, oh, I'm an AMC actor, I'm gonna impress this lady, oh my gosh, this is gonna go so good. So I'm flirting with her the entire time before everybody gets there, and I'm showing all my pictures off. I'm like, yeah, this is me, and this one scene is me, and this is weird. This is awkward for me. Is it awkward for you? You don't care. This is uncomfortable for me.
I'm on my phone. I'm not even paying the fucking bit of attention to you.
Thanks, buddy.
I don't even know if the cameras are still on.
Thanks, buddy. With this show, like, what's the limit? Can I tell people's names? Fuck it, I'm just gonna be honest about everything. So this, huh? Yeah. So this lady that I'm on friends with Facebook is this hot politician who kept telling me how buff her husband was. So then the actual show starts, right? And it's super exciting. It's super cool. Everything's gonna happen. It's gonna be super fun. And they start introducing all the booths. They have somebody on this giant stage because there's somebody from a local radio station. They're gonna have songs. They're gonna have charity auctions and events and shit like that. But they're introducing everybody. They're like, over here we have some funnel cakes, and everybody cheers for the funnel cakes. Over here we have caterpillars, and everybody cheers for the caterpillars. Over here we have a bouncy castle. Everyone loses their shit, because who the fuck doesn't love a bouncy castle? Over here we have corn dogs. Yay, corn dogs. And over here we have Keith Brooks from The Walking Dead. And that's all they say, right? And I expected like a, yeah, you know, sort of reaction. Because I'm a nobody on the show. I'm a character that's in a couple episodes, and I try to diddle a kiddle. You know what I mean? That's all I do. And so...
Why did you make that rhyme?
So I'm the guy that tries to fuck kids. And there's a lot of kids at this thing, right? And I see, like, it's just all children. But it's March of Dimes, so I guess that makes sense. And I have my little sign. I have all my photographs, and I have, like, you know, signed autographs for $5, which isn't a bad price, I don't think, you know? And then they introduce my name, Keith Brooks from The Walking Dead. And instead of the, yay, like, you know, cheer I expect, all of a sudden I'm being fucking swarmed like maggots on a rotting apple. They're just all over my fucking table. And they're not, like, asking me for signatures. Kids are just grabbing shit and running with it. And they even stole my $5 for an autograph sign. It's like Mortal Kombat 2. Nothing could prepare you for it. It just fucking happens to you. And you don't know how to react to it, right? And then the other weird part about it is that the episode that I'm infamous, the kiddle diddling thing, had already happened. And like, so people, if you watch the show, you would know that's what I did. Like, I have pictures of me all over the fucking table raping kids. And this is the only business that you're allowed to do that in. And people are walking up to me with their children and handing me their children and taking a photograph of me with their kids, laughing, and then taking the kids away. Like, it was the weirdest, I'm like, every time they handed me a kid, I'm like, do you know what I do? Do you know what I'm famous for? And sort of, it's just awkward. It would be like going up to Charlie Manson and handing him a knife and saying, hey, let me take your picture with this. And, you know, it's not, no. No. Not saying I'm actually gonna rape a kid. This analogy just went way...
We need to work on our analogies more.
We have all these people coming up that have no idea who the fuck I am. Some, like, not a single person I think there recognized me whatsoever from the show. Like, Walking Dead is the #1 show on television, and I still haven't met a single fucking person that watches it, I feel, you know? And then this one lady who was completely legal, like 19 years old, very large breasts, walks up to me, and she's like 2 friends beside her, right? And she's like this button-up shirt, and I swear to God, this is what she does. She walks up to my table. The politician has gone off somewhere else to get constituents, and this 19-year-old girl looks at me, and she's like, so I hear you're the director of The Walking Dead. And I'm like, no, I'm just an actor. And she literally goes, oh. Okay, I'm gonna get a corn dog. And then just walks the fuck away. And I'm like, I can direct it if that means sex. Trevor's ashamed of me now. Very ashamed. This huge stage was lined with these balloon animal sort of things, and they wanted to get rid of them, so they asked me if I could think of any creative way to get rid of them. So I'm like, well, let's let the kids, like, play with them. So they're like, yeah, do you want to host that? And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I grabbed a microphone, and I told the kids that I was from the show The Walking Dead, and I asked them if they knew what it was, and all the kids were like, ah! And I'm like, well, it's about zombies. You know what zombies are? And all the kids are like, ah! And so I'm like, zombies eat things. And they're like, oh. So I'm like, attack these balloons like zombies. And then like 60 kids lost their fucking minds and went ape shit on these balloons. And it just sounded like the 1920s in downtown Chicago, because it was just pop, 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 gunfire fucking everywhere. So it was just insanity. And it was the happiest, like, I think I even laughed aloud and went, yes, my minions. I've gone on to conventions that are more normal than that, but it was also a great convention to start. Like, I had a lot of fun meeting people, and I guess that's, for the most part, what these conventions are. I think when I initially agreed to do it, part of the appealing thing was that it was in Canton, my hometown. And as an actor, as an artist of any types. Growing up, I was always told that I wasn't going to succeed, that failure was probably a definite for me. You know what I mean? And I always wanted to be able to go back and say, you were wrong, here you go. And that felt like the opportunity where it was going to happen, where I was going to go back to my hometown and be validated, where I was going to be able to say, hey, I'm on the #1 show in television, and I have more shows coming up, that you can see me on Drop Dead Diva, Army Wives, Walking Dead, Constantine, From Dusk Till Dawn, etc. But when I got there, that didn't matter. It was all about getting through the day without getting my car keys stolen by random children hyped up on funnel cake. And I think that's a perfect analogy for life. Like, there will always be things that matter to us. Love, happiness, joy. But when I look back on how much I wanted to be validated, I feel that I was such a small little man. You know? That at the end of the day, none of that matters. It's just about getting through. That all of the thanks and appreciation and, oh, we were wrong, Keith, it doesn't matter if that comes, because I've done it. Regardless of what anyone else says, I've still done it. And to see the people that I did know was a wonderful experience. But to get through it and to have people coming up to me and wanting to know more about me, whether or not they knew anything about me to begin with, whether they had any connection to who my character was at all, that's fine. There was still interest there, and it was still a rewarding experience. And ultimately, I got through it. So that's what that's all about.